Lady Palutena? You're still looking hot as hell. Wait, what? Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today, and only today, we are in celebration mode. That's right, because we are here to talk about the 10-year anniversary of Kid Icarus Uprising. Holy shit. This game is 10 years old. I can't believe it. But before we get into that, of course, y'all know the drill. Y'all know the wave. Subscribe to your boy. If you're new here, like the video and all that stuff. Usually what I usually do here is daily discussions. I just bump my mic. I put up, you know, my live reactions and stuff. I put up my streams and all that. So just a bunch of stuff for you to consume, talk about, extend your life and understand all that stuff. So yeah, very simple, chill stuff here. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So man, Kid Icarus Uprising, 10 years old. I can't believe this, man. Just in general, the 3DS being 10 years old is very surreal. But just this game specifically, you know what's funny is that I actually, like, for some reason this game I have such a specifically vivid memory of buying. I remember I finished school one day and I remember like going to the store and buying the physical copy. Now this game leading to its release, I remember I used to watch this content creator. I don't think he still makes content anymore. It was just this random Australian dude who had like a blog website where he would post Nintendo news. I don't remember his name, but he used to make stuff all the time. And like I remember I would keep up with all the news of 3DS stuff, and it would constantly be about Kid Icarus, you know, Sakurai's involvement, Sakurai interviews, all this stuff. And I remember just really, it was one of the first big games that I was really involved with, like following the marketing and all the trailers for it and all that stuff. And I remember just being so hyped for it because it looked really cool. And then here comes the release day. I go after school, I buy it. It comes with the big box where it comes with like a stand because the controls hurt your fucking wrist. That's the one biggest flaw with that game, is that the controls still mess up your wrist. That they literally, Nintendo gave a stand in there because they knew that would happen. It also came with some cards in there. There was like a trading card thing that people really loved. I know Sugar Khan was like one of the few sociopaths that's collected all of them, but yeah, they had these cards for it. And yeah, I remember just opening the game, sitting in my like bedroom right after school, just playing the first mission and being just blown away that I was playing a 3DS game. You know, let me while I talk about it, let me just have like a trailer up playing of it. Yes, so I remember like doing that first mission, going up to that world. Obviously it looked a little better on a 3DS, you're in handheld mode, and when you have the 3D, you have that bit of more clarity. But man, playing it was immediately just so surreal because first of all, you have this incredible soundtrack that's playing on the 3DS for it. You have also, what's called, you have incredible voice acting. I think some of the best voice acting in a Nintendo game. Pit right from the beginning was just lovable. You had Palutena talking to him the whole time. They had this back and forth dynamic, and I always loved how every mission always started with, you know, a flying section, and then you would go into the action section into the ground. And I always loved the flying section because those really felt like, yeah, they were these automated sections, but like you would be traveling through the sky in these beautiful areas, and you would have the soundtrack playing, and then they would always be bantering back and forth, like constantly. The two main characters, like Pit or Palutena or whatever villain from that chapter, would just be talking the entire time. And it just felt so refreshing, you know, to have a game like this where, like, there is a world where this game could have been what this was without the voice actor. Whereas, hey, like, here's a Kid Icarus game, you get to play as Pit, he has a few voice lines, and then like everything is just whatever. But this game would add so much life to it is really the voice acting, man. It really is those characters. You know, they had Verity, you had Medusa, even that was cheeky. You had what's called, you had Hades. Obviously, he's a villain that comes up halfway through the game. And by the way, that is one of my favorite video game twists in the world, where I thought I beat Kid Icarus at chapter 8. I was like, oh, okay, so like a short campaign, whatever. And then like Hades like rips the credits and he's like, no, hold up. Here's the real game that's about to start. And that alone was like mind-blowing to me. And all these areas you would go to, whether it was on the sky, on the ground, all that stuff was amazing. And this game had Sakurai DNA through and through. I mean, you had like going into the missions with the difficulty slider, which is a very Sakurai thing to do. The menus were very Sakurai, the achievements. But what was cool about this game too is you had so many weapons. Like you had these weapons you could combine. You could have claws, you could have like blasters, you could have like guns, you could have bows, like you could have like a bunch of different weapons. And it was just really cool. And you could like fuse them together to make crazier weapons, and just you were able to make your arsenal so so much bigger. But I mean, looking at this, like, it's still crazy to me that this is a 3DS game, man. And the bosses, like I said, they were challenging, they were super fun, and so much about the game relied a lot on its characters and gameplay, and it worked so well. And this game also had an online mode, this online multiplayer mode that was in the game, and it was really underrated because it was really fun. It was called Light versus Dark, and you would just literally just do these battles, and you would use the different weapons in the game and everything, and it was just awesome. And of course, we got our boy here, Dark Pit, who a lot of you know, and people that just know him from Smash Bros don't know that this character is so cool. You were just hearing Dark Pit's theme over here, but yeah, no, Dark Pit is one of the coolest side characters to the game. I mean, he becomes pretty much a main character, but seeing these two battle it out in the game and just everything about him, it's just so surreal, so much hype. So this game means so much to me. I think it was like one of the first games where I genuinely like thought, like, besides, you know, like something like a Galaxy or a Mario thing or a Sonic thing that I just personally love, it's like this game was such an easy masterpiece to me. And yeah, I know it has issues with the controls, which are like it really is not great, you know, just having to use the touch screen as basically the aim shooter, and then other buttons to do stuff. It did literally cramp your hands a little bit, but if you could look past that and just play the game, it was so worth it. And man, I pray for a world where we get a sequel. You know, I pray that right now Sakurai is working on a sequel to this because he loves it, right? It's very clear he loves it. There's always something called the Sakurai bias, right? Where whenever he does something for Smash, you can tell when it's something he made that he puts a lot more love and care into it. It's like how, like, you know, in Smash Bros, it's always like the Kirby levels and Kirby things that are in the game are very much the stuff he worked on. But then you have Kid Icarus, which, like, we got Pit in the game, we got Dark Pit, we got Palutena, we got what's called we got the regular stage, we got the big one where you have the down on the D-pad where they do the discussions between Pit and Palutena. And it's like, you could just tell, you have the assist trophy and all that stuff. It's like, you could tell Sakurai definitely loves what he made here, you know, and it's just, it was amazing. It was really refreshing also to see from Sakurai do something different. You know, he did Kirby, then he did a lot of Smash Bros, and we were like, okay, is he gonna do something different? To see him do Kid Icarus was such an interesting idea, because here's the thing, no one cared about Kid Icarus before this game. I mean, Kid Icarus was like a fun NES game, I guess, for like the few people that got to play it, but it really was like a shocking thing when he revived it and made it this. You know, it had to be it was such a unique choice for him to be like, you know what, I want to revive Kid Icarus of all things, and he did an incredible job of it. Like I said, this game is one of my favorite video game stories because it really is heartfelt, hilarious, and has a lot of cool stories in the game, like sub stories and all this stuff. The gameplay is so addicting. There's so many upgrade stuff you could do. There's so much replay value in the game between doing the missions, doing them at higher difficulties, getting the crazy weapons of the gods, and just all this stuff, and like so many plot twists in the story that are really good. I can't say enough good things about the game, and I can't believe it's been 10 years, man. Like, the fact I was 15 when this game came out, like, think about that for a second, man. 15 years old when this game came out. I know a lot of you were probably younger, but man, just really surreal to me. And the bosses were so cool. I'm looking at this, man, I hope we get a sequel. I really do hope. Honestly, like, an HD remaster or a sequel to this game, the Switch should be sealed for me. Like, like, obviously I'm gonna buy and be excited for other stuff, but like, then I would be good. Like, I'd be like, okay, I got Strikers, I got my Odyssey, I got my my Kid Icarus Uprising. Like, I'm good. I got like the top of the tops, my Xenoblades, my Zeldas, like, but Kid Icarus Uprising sequel, man, just would do everything in the world to be hyped for me. So yeah, that's really end of my thoughts to the 10-year anniversary, guys. If you have not checked out this game, remember, it's going to leave in a year. In a year, you won't be able to buy it on the eShop, but at the very least, you could still buy it physically. But again, just, you know, be careful. Just try to make sure to buy it if you haven't. It's really worth it. Or use, you know, other means if you want to play it, you know what I mean? So make sure to play this game. It's a banger, and if you can't, hopefully Sakurai and the team work on a sequel, an HD remaster or something. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the game. Let me know what you guys thought back then, what you still think now about it. And of course, I'll see you all next time. Thank you, Kid Icarus. I love you. Goodbye.